Let's start our third chapter from geography, that is mineral and power resources. So here mineral, we are going to understand about the mineral. What is mineral? Naturally occurring substance that has a definite chemical composition is called as mineral. This is formed in different types of geological environment under varying conditions, identified on the basis of their physical and chemical properties. Classification of minerals, that is metallic and as well as non-metallic. So here you can see metallic minerals are further divided into two, ferrous and non-ferrous. So ferrous means which contains iron. Examples are iron ore and the chromite. Then non-ferrous means which do not contain iron but contains other metals, such as you can see in the list, like gold, silver, copper and lead. Next we are having the non-metallic, that is limestone, mica, gypsum, fuels such as coal and petrols. Minerals are extracted in many ways, like mining, drilling and quarrying. Mining is divided again on two categories, that is open cast mining and the shaft mining. So about that we are going to learn. What do you mean by mining? The extraction of mineral from the earth is called as mining. So the method used for mining depends upon the depth at which the minerals are found. So minerals present near the earth's surface are simply dug out, and it is called as quarrying. The last one what we have seen. Now minerals which are present at a shallow depth can be taken out by removing the surface layer. It is one of the easiest and cheapest method of extraction minerals or extracting minerals. This method is known as open cast mining, the one way of mining. To extract minerals which are present at great depths, a deep hole called shaft is dug. It is known as shaft mining, the other way of mining. Deep wells are bored to obtain minerals, oil like petroleum and natural gas, which occur far below the earth's surface by the process that is called as drilling. So these are the ways for extracting the minerals from the surface of the or from the deep depth of the earth. So distribution of the minerals in the world, this is given in detail in your textbook, but it is divided in the boxes you can see over here in different parts. So one portion is informing you about the continent, the other countries, and the third what kind of minerals are found in these countries. So in Asia there are countries such as India, China, Malaysia and Indonesia. India is having iron ore, China is having tin, Malaysia is having lead, antimony and tungsten. Then Indonesia is having the copper, along with the manganese, bauxite and nickel, zinc. So these are the all minerals found in these countries in Asia. Now in Europe continent there are many countries like Russia, Ukraine, Sweden and France. So what is available in Russia? Iron ore, that is the available in Russia, Ukraine, Sweden and France. In all the places, copper, lead, zinc, manganese and nickel, this is found in Eastern Europe and European Russia. North America, the other continent, Canada and USA are the country. Iron ore, nickel, gold, uranium, copper, these are found in Canadian Shield region. Coal is found in Appalachians. Then copper, lead, zinc, gold, silver, these are found in the Western Cordilleras. South America, the another continent, Brazil, Chile, Peru, Bolivia, Venezuela, Argentina and Colombia. These are the countries where iron ore are found in Brazil, copper is found in Chile and Peru, tin is found in Brazil and Bolivia, mineral oil is found in Venezuela, Argentina and Colombia, Chile and Peru. The other minerals such as gold, silver, zinc, chromium, manganese, bauxite, mica, platinum, asbestos and diamond, these are all found in these regions. Africa, The next continent, there the countries are South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zaire, Nigeria, Libya, Angola. So gold is found in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zaire, oil, Nigeria, Libya, Angola. Other minerals like diamonds, platinum, copper, iron ore, chromium, and uranium, cobalt, bauxite. These are found in these countries. Australia, which mineral are found? Bauxite, gold, that is found in Kalgoorlie and Coolgardie areas. Diamond, iron ore, tin, nickel, copper, lead, zinc, and manganese are also found. Antarctica, coal is found in Transantarctic mountains. Iron ore, Prince Charles Mountains forecasted. Then other minerals are found such as gold, silver, and oil. Then we are having distribution of minerals in India. What minerals are found in India and in which state that is found? You can see over here iron, where it is found: Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Goa, Maharashtra, and Karnataka. Bauxite, that is found in Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. Mica, Jharkhand, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, and Rajasthan. Copper, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. Manganese, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. Limestone, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu. Gold, that is found in Kolar, Karnataka. Salt, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. Uses of minerals, gems and jewelries, that is being used. Coins and pipes, for that is being also used. Computers, automobiles, building, kitchen cookware, airplanes. Now most probably in day-to-day life these minerals are used and very useful, so it need to be conserved. Minerals are non-renewable resources, because of that we have to conserve it. Their rate of formation is very slow as compared to the rate of which they are being used. So it is absolutely necessary to use these resources judicially, with understanding, and whatever it is necessary, only that much you should use, with minimum wastage while mining. Then recycling of the metal is the another way of conserving our mineral resources. Next we are having power resources. So that is divided into two: conventional resources and non-conventional resources. Here you can see firewood, that is being used for cooking and heating. Coal is used for domestic use as well as electricity generation. Then petroleum, that is a commercial fuel. Natural gas, again the commercial fuel. Hydel power, domestic and commercial use. So these are the conventional resources. So conventional sources of energy are those which have been in common use for long time. So these are the example like firewood, coal, petroleum, natural gas, and hydel power. So exhaustible, now these are exhaustible sources of energy. Exhaustible source or non-renewable source are source that energy which cannot be replenished in a short period of time. They take long time to form, so they should be used judicially. For example, hydel power is a conventional source of energy, but it is inexhaustible. Coal, petroleum, and natural gas against them are also inexhaustible source of energy. They are formed from fossils and hence are called fossil fuels also. Next we are having the non-conventional sources like solar energy, wind energy, nuclear, geothermal, tidal, and biogas. Solar energy, generally it is being used for heating, community lighting, traffic signals, etc. Wind energy used for electricity generation. Nuclear power is used for the power generation. Geothermal energy, that is being used for generating power, then cooking and as well as heating. Tidal energy, again the power generation, it is used for. Biogas, fuel for cooking, lighting, organic manure, it is used as the organic manure. Now, why these are called as non-conventional sources? The conventional sources of energy are depleting at an alarming rate. To meet the increased demand for energy, non-conventional sources of energy are gaining importance. As the above is going to exhaust if it is used in excess, and to reform it, it will take time. So, behalf of that, we are using the non-conventional sources. Examples already you are having this solar, wind, nuclear, geothermal, tidal and biogas. So in detail you are having the videos of this all. Go through the chapter to learn and to understand it better way. Overall a short recap we have taken of this chapter. Next chapter we are having agriculture. So there are three type of economic activities like primary, secondary and tertiary. So what is primary activity? These are the concerned with extraction and production of natural resources such as agriculture and fishing. These are the example. Secondary activity, these are concerned with processing of resources, example manufacturing of steel, weaving of cloth. So making it as the complete product, packaging. Here you can say the tertiary activity is this provide services, that is trade and banking. So like manufacturing steel, then this is being sent to the number of places. That steel is being used in number of ways for making windows, window frame, and to make utensils, and even for the buildings, because it is lightweighted and rust free, it is being used right now in the construction of building also. So the economic activity is of three types: primary, secondary and tertiary. There are different types of farming activity like agriculture, art of cultivation on soil, growing crops and rearing livestock. So agriculture is of two kinds: cultivating and rearing the animals. Livestock here means animals. Sericulture, that is rearing of silkworm. Pisciculture, that is breeding of fish. Then viticulture, cultivation of grapes. Horticulture, that is growing of vegetable, flowers, fruits for sale. Types of farming you can see over here, that is divided into two: a subsistence farming to meet farmers' family needs, and commercial farming, that is for the sale in the market. The subsistence farming is divided again into two, that is intensive and the primitive. Small plots and simple tools. So this is for only the family needs. So they are cultivating on the small plots. And there are no much laborers. The family member itself, they are working in the field. The simple tools are being used, not the tractors like bullock carts and all the stuff is being used over here, and it is being harvested by themselves only. And the other method of subsistence farming is primitive, that is the shifting cultivation, what we have learned: clearing of the small patch of land, then cutting of the trees, burning of the roots, so that ashes which left, that works as a fertilizers for the land. Later on they are cultivating on it, and after harvesting that, they are leaving that land fallow for many years. They are not cultivating there, they are moving to the other places. So it is also known as shifting cultivation and zoom cultivation. So this is the old method what they used to do or practice. So shifting cultivation already I have explained over here. Then the nomadic herding, the other kind of cultivation, as we have read that is rearing the livestock. So here is the herdsmen move from place to place with their animals in search of food and water. So seasonal movement it is occurring. Herders sell milk, meat, wool and as well as hides. As they were rearing a huge number of animals, they need the fodder, grazing grounds also. So the area where do they live, it is not necessary to be available all time the grazing ground. So with the season they move from one place to another, as they can get the grazing ground for the animals what they have reared. So in return what they are getting milk, meat, wool and hides, which is being sold out in the market, and on behalf of that they are purchasing the other things. Next we are having commercial farming, that is done for sale in the market. There are three kind of farming: mixed farming, plantation agriculture, commercial grain farming. Mixed farming means growing food and fodder and rearing livestock. All the three stuff is done together over here. Growing up of food, that is crops, then growing fodder for animals, and even they are rearing animals. Plantation agriculture, large labor, farms and capital is very much needed over here. Mainly it is done for sale, to sell it in the market, not for the family purpose. Tea, coffee and rubber are such examples. These are being planted, harvested and exported to the region where it is needed. Commercial grain farming, hundred of hectares are engaged in this farming. Single crop is grown like wheat, maize, millet. This kind of crops are being grown in the hundred of hectares. Major crops of the world: food crops like rice, that is grown in China, India, Japan, Sri Lanka and Egypt. Wheat is grown in USA, Canada, Argentina and Russia, Ukraine, Australia and as well as in India. Millet is grown in India, Nigeria, China and Niger. Maize is grown in India, North America, Brazil, Canada and Mexico. Fiber crops that are such as cotton, that are grown in China, USA, India, Pakistan, Brazil and Egypt. Jute is grown in India and as well as Bangladesh. Beverage crops is like coffee, that is grown in Brazil, Colombia and as well as in India. Tea is grown in Kenya, India, China and Sri Lanka. These are the major crops that are grown in world. Agricultural development, how the agriculture could be developed: by increasing the cropped area, the land brought more in under cultivation, increasing number of crop grown on the land, improving the irrigation facilities by giving away proper facility of water, use of fertilizers to get the yielding better, then high yield seeds, so the produce they can get the better produce. Mechanization, using the machines like for sowing the seeds, harvesting the seeds and to spread the fertilizer, that the machines are being used. Prevent damage to crop by using the pesticide. So these are the agricultural development that could be done, and it is being done also. Comparison of a farm in India and as well as USA. Size of the land, that is 1.5 in India, then 250 hectares in USA. Farmer resides in village, while in USA they resides in the farm itself. Crops are grown like wheat, rice, pulses, and here the crops such as corn, soya bean, wheat, cotton, sugar beet that are being grown. Facilities available: they are buying HYV seeds, high yielding variety of seeds. Then make sure that the soil and water resources are suitable. So before testing the land, they are sowing the seed. Here they are assuring that they are having the resource, the soil and the water, and if they are suitable for cultivating or not, that is being seen. Land is fertile over here. Take measure to control the pest over here. Then grows 2 crops a year, and in USA sends soil sample to soil testing laboratory. Takes advice from friends, elders and government and officers in India. Plans a scientific fertilizer program in USA. Takes tractors on rent for plowing his field. Here in USA uses computer to get exact picture of the field. Irrigates his field by tube well, and in USA uses tractor, drills, combine harvester, thresher or for harvesting. In India they keep animals to supplement his income, because by growing or cultivating is not enough for their income, so they are also rearing the animals. Here grain stored in automated grain storage, so later on for the good price they can sell, and here they were not having the storage facility. Family members help him in his work. Here in USA, farmer works like a businessman because most of the work is done by the machines. Laborers are not needed, and farmers are like a businessman. Here, the condition of the cultivators, they are poor and has to take loan from either the bank or cooperative to buy the seeds. Black storage facility, as I already informed. Then so sometimes forced to sell their grains at mandi at a lower price as they were not having the storage facility. So here we have completed both the chapters revision, that is third and fourth. Go through the chapter again from the textbook to learn it in detail. Thank you.